Over the past several interviews that we've done here at estatesales.net, we've covered everything from how to stage your home and what to include in your contract. But today we're going to do something a little bit different. Today we're talking about cleanouts. Joining me today is Patricia Cresswell with Contemporary Current in Dallas, Texas. Patricia and her team have definitely made a name for themselves in the cleanout business, and we're going to talk about how she runs a successful cleanout business and some advice that she may have for you guys looking to hire a company. Patricia, thanks so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me, Tim. I'm excited to share some great tips with you guys today.
Yeah, it's good to see you. So I guess let's just kind of start from the beginning. How did you get started in the cleanout business? What kind of made you get into it?
Well, it's a funny story. My husband and I, we used to be avid resellers, and we would go around thrifting and go to antique malls. And, this wave hit for estate sales where everybody was so interested in going there and sourcing. And I was like, let's do an estate sale. And we found one on estatesales.net. So I guess you guys are part of this story as well. And we went to an estate sale, and the lady was running around trying to make sure everything was cleaned out of the property. And this was Sunday. And I was like, hey, what do you guys do with everything that's left after the sale? And she said, we usually use a clean out company, but we don't have one. Can you guys do clean outs? This was just a random conversation.
Right.
And I was like, absolutely, we sure can, So we've seen a need, and then we filled it. And from that point, it just began a snowball effect. And I mean, the clean out services have blown up for us.
Perfect. And you're in the Dallas, Texas area, which is one of our bigger markets. So I'm sure that there's, quite a bit to keep you guys busy. One of the things, there's several aspects of running, an estate sale, not only the business, but the sale itself. And I think one of the things that might, get an afterthought are the cleanouts. What are some of the common misconceptions about cleanout companies, and how do you guys kind of circumvent those?
Well, what we have ran into time and time again is that people in the estate sale industry believe that a clean out also means junk removal.
Okay.
And so we have had to dispel a lot of that. And, I kind of outlined what we consider junk versus what we consider reusable items on my platforms, and just let people know, hey, this is something we can reuse, because it is my goal to not put anything in the landfill if we don't have to.
Right.
So we try to reuse everything. I mean, so many different ways that we have tried to connect with other companies, like even a Rage Room we've connected with, because they like to smash glass, and
right.
We always get a ton of glass. And so that's one of our partners for that.
Good deal. So when someone contacts, Contemporary Current to do a clean out, could you kind of describe your process from, the phone call to when you guys are actually in the home, getting everything cleaned out?
Absolutely. So we meet with a customer. They reach out and tell us they need a clean out. We get the address. We get contact information. We go through a checklist, and we try to identify what stays in the property. Is it tagged? Locations are you needing the clean out for? Is it the full house? Is it attic? Is it basement? Are there stairs? All the way down to where do we park the truck, in the front, in the back?
Right.
All these things we go down the list. And then we also ask that our estate sale clients take pictures of what we are picking up and send them to us, so that we can be prepared for, whatever. So.
Okay. Like I said, I know there's a lot of, especially newer companies that are coming on the site that may not have experience with, working with a clean out company and not really sure, what to do. I know, that there's also several companies that rely, they do it themselves, and it just adds that much extra work for them. What advice would you give estate sale companies that are looking to work with a clean out company for the first time?
Well, I mean, I believe it's essential for all estate sale companies to have a clean out company and a junk removal company on deck. because this just saves estate sale companies so much time, so much effort. I've seen some really high level estate sale companies that will do the sale and then turn around, you see them in the dumpster. And I'm like, what are you doing? You need to be at the next sale. That
Right.
let me, I'm the dumpster diver. I'm the person that goes through the properties and I'll do all the dirty work. And you guys can go to the next sale and start getting the next home prepared. So that's the convenience of making sure you have that. And that should be included in all of your part of your business plan. Should
Right.
be part of the service.
Okay. And that kind of ties into my next question. We've done an interview before about contracts and everything that goes into those. What should estate sale companies make sure that they include in their contract when it comes to cleanouts?
Right. So what I've seen in the past is that they have made it an optional service. If the customer needs it, then they can provide it as an option. However, it should be a standard service. 71% of all estate sales end up having to do some kind of trash removal. And this is based
Right.
off of you guys' statistics with estatesales.net. You guys do great work when it comes to keeping track of what's happening in the industry. And not only that, I can honestly say that every estate sale, and I've talked to a lot of companies, they always end up with something in the end, whether it be reusable items or just pure trash. You always end up with something. So, you know, I understand trying to save money here and there. This is a service that you just cannot dismiss. So,
Right. So basically having everything, lined out up front, knowing what to expect is going to be the important thing.
right, letting
Um,
your client know that you need the service. It's a
right.
part of what we do in order for us to give you a complete package. So,
So do you think it's a fear of, the estate sale company may not know what they have left over, whether it's valuable or not? Do you think that may have something to do with, the apprehension of working with a clean out company?
well, no, I don't think so. Absolutely not. Because, I mean, we have done over 200 homes we've cleaned out. And in these properties, sometimes it's low value items, sometimes it's high value items. But that's not the name of the game for estate sale companies. It's a numbers game. The more sales that you get in underneath your belt per month, per year, that just adds to your revenue stream. The items, they can sell as much as they can, but whatever's left, you know, that's up to the client to determine if they want to keep it. But you guys are supposed to move on to the next sale. So, you
Okay.
know, the quicker the better.
We've talked to several companies, especially over, doing some of the live Q&A that we've done, and there's just a lot of things that they may not know are available to them in their area. Like I said, you're in Dallas, a huge market for us. How would you suggest, the first meeting go if I'm an estate sale company, I'm looking to hire a clean out? What are some things that I need to have in place before I even make that phone call?
Well, have a conversation with your client to make sure that everything that is left in the property is meant to be disposed of. Um, that's number one. What we typically do when we come in, we identify what stays in the property, we identify what needs to be donated, because we have a large donation outreach because we get so much in,
Right.
inventory. So we identify what needs to be donated, we identify what's considered junk removal, and and then we identify what we can just completely just take out of the property without any problems.
Okay.
So, mhm.
Is there a full list of services? I know clean out pretty much. I mean, that's a pretty broad, term. But what are some of these services that you guys offer outside of the cleanup side that maybe some of the companies could look for?
Right. So we do the property clean out, we do the junk removal and hazardous material removal, which is another uh,
Right.
angle that, it's difficult. even down to like the cleaning supplies, that's considered hazardous material.
Right.
Um, we also provide like some light demolition, like maybe if there's an old jacuzzi in the backyard or something that needs to be removed, we will provide that service as well. So just kind of a full circle for customers so that they can, start the next chapter for that property.
So have you seen, quite a few clean out companies popping up? The more popular that estate sales are becoming. I mean, they've been popular for a long time, but is that something that you're seeing a lot more of in your area?
So absolutely not. What we've noticed is a lot of junk removal companies and, not companies that have the whole idea of removing the contents and finding new homes for those contents.
Right.
Now, the baseline usually for junk removal companies is that they're going to take that stuff and out of your property and take it to the dump. So that's what, they have, in their wheelhouse. But we have designed a specific niche that says that we want to make sure whatever we take out of the property, find every valuable source that it could go to. And then the last resort is to take it to a landfill.
Okay. And we had talked before, and you had mentioned something that you were developing even though this video is going to go out to estate sale companies and things like that, but your company is developing something for how to start your clean out business or like a checklist that you had?
Right.
What was that?
So we have a course now. It's called How to Start Your Estate Clean Out Company.
Okay.
And basically we just set the standard of what is important for this particular business because it's a niche business. It's not for every particular property because you might
Right.
have foreclosed properties that will require weatherization and all that. But we don't do that part. We just focus on getting the contents out of these properties. And I mean, based off of what's going on right now in America, unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are in need of this service. So yes, they'll
Perfect.
be able to log on and check out the how to start the estate sale clean out business. I also have a PDF too that is free to all of my estate sale clients and anybody who's interested. And it's a checklist. So you can download that PDF for free and go ahead and use that as a baseline for the questions that need to be discussed with whoever you're working with
Right.
in the area.
Well, I've definitely looked into what you guys do, and I think it's a great service that a lot of our companies, whether they're in Dallas or somewhere else, they need to know that these options are out there for them. And I commend you guys for doing reusing as much as you can. You don't hear a lot of that, especially when it comes to cleanouts and things. So, well, Patricia, I want to give you an opportunity to kind of tell everybody how they can find you or get in touch if they need you for anything. Just go ahead and plug anything that you have.
Thank you so much, Tim. Yeah, it's such a pleasure to be here. I absolutely love what we do. Our team loves what we do. And we just look forward to servicing everyone that we can in our region and teaching other people to do the same thing. But find us on www.contemporarycurrent. That's you guys will put it out on the screen.com. And that's the best way to reach out to us. We're also on Instagram at Contemporary Current. We're on Twitter at Contemporary C20. We're also on Facebook. You can follow our Facebook page, Contemporary Current, as well. So
Perfect.
Connect with us, please.
Absolutely. Well, again, everybody, this is Patricia Cresswell from Contemporary Current in Dallas, Texas. Patricia, thank you so much for being here today.
Absolutely. It was such a pleasure, Tim.